Hey everybody, welcome back to the Safe YouTube channel. My name is Taylor and today's video is going to be all about internet safety. Now I know what you're thinking, not another lecture on internet safety. I already hear this from my parents, my grandparents, my teachers, any adult in your life, but hear me out. As we are connecting pretty much 100% virtually with going to school online, working from home and working online, internet safety is more important now than ever, and we can all use a little refresher. So today I'm just going to be talking about managing our social medias, making sure that we're not oversharing online, as well as dating apps and making sure we're being safe if we're using apps like Tinder or Grindr or Hinge, Bumble, any of all that fun stuff. So if you want to hang out with me and just chit chat about online safety, then just keep watching. Okay, so one of the first things that I want to talk about that I think is so important is just what we're sharing online, especially when it comes to our location. There are a number of apps that request access to our location when you're setting them up. After you first download an app, sometimes it will ask you questions about sharing your location only while you're using the app, or sending you notifications, things like that. And it's really important that we are not allowing our location, or at least where our phone is, to be accessible to any app or to anybody that we don't want to be sharing our location with. We should really only ever be sharing our location with trusted adults or friends, anybody that pertains to our own personal safety. Pretty much any phone that's on the market today is practically a computer that fits in our pocket. Every phone can pretty much do anything a computer can do, in addition to calling people. So it's very important that we're aware of all the capability of our phones and that we're not oversharing. It's also important that we have privacy protections on our social media accounts and that our accounts are private. If you have a public, say, Snapchat account that you're allowing access to location services to use and you're not in ghost mode, then anyone who adds you on Snapchat, whether you accept them or they just add you, they potentially have access to your location, which will give them access to where you live, where you go to school, where you work, anywhere that you go that you're bringing your phone with you. Sharing your location can lead to a very dangerous situation. To be sure that you're not sharing your location on any social media that you don't want to be, you can always go to the settings in your phone, go under location services, and you should see a list of apps using your location, and you can always go through and turn those off. It's also very important to be careful what you're sharing, what you're posting on your social media accounts. Not only photos or videos, but anything that you make as a status or anything that you tweet. You can't ever really delete permanently anything from the internet. It is practically permanent. Anything that you post is out there forever and ever. If there's a photo or a video or a status or a tweet that you wouldn't want a future employer or college admission staff or your parents or grandparents to see, you really shouldn't be posting it. You want to be sure that you're not posting anything on the internet that you're not 100% comfortable with and would be 100% comfortable with your possible children or grandchildren to see down the line at some point in time. So when you're taking pictures, you're taking Snapchats, just be very aware that anything you're sending, anything you're posting is out there forever. This video, once I post it, it's out there forever. I can delete it, I can take it down, but I can't ever permanently remove it from the internet, and that is so important to really understand. When it comes to using apps like Snapchat or Hoop or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, it is super important to make sure that you're not talking to anybody that you don't know in real life. We ultimately shouldn't be accepting friends or follow requests or Snapchats or anything like that from anyone that we don't know in real life. We know that the internet, you can be anybody. Any stranger can make a Snapchat account or an Instagram account and pretend to be someone that they're not. So it's so important to make sure that if we don't know them in real life, we're not talking to them over the internet or sharing information about ourselves. Something else that I think is really, really important is your passwords. You want to make sure that your passwords are unique and strong and not easily guessable. You don't want to have a password that's password, the word password. Or something simple like 12345 6 or your pet's name or your name. You want to have a password that is unique and is strong, that is possibly between 8 to 10 characters with, any sort of symbol like a hashtag or an exclamation point or, a variety of letters, capitals, numbers, things that aren't going to be easily guessable. And it's super important that you don't have the same password for every account, because you can be hacked, and if someone can hack your password to one account and it's the same password for your other accounts, they can ultimately hack each of your accounts, get access to information there, post as you, pretend to be you and talk to people or post things pretending to be you. And so it's just very important that we're making sure our passwords are strong enough that they're not going to be guessed, to protect our information and protect ourselves from anyone who might be trying to hack our accounts. The last thing that I want to talk about are online dating apps and websites. So you may be familiar with dating apps like Tinder, Grindr, Hinge, Bumble, the list goes on. And I just want to kind of touch on being sure that who you're talking to on these apps are who they say they are, and making sure that you're not sharing any personal information with anybody that you haven't met in real life. Now, going off of people on the internet that you haven't met in real life, Tinder, you can set your location to be anywhere. Someone can match with you on Tinder, not even be in New York, may not even be in the town that you're in, and may not even be who they're saying they are on their profile. Kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, anybody can make an account and say that they're whoever to befriend you and to get information from you and to have you put trust in them. When it comes to dating apps, you want to be sure that who they say they are in their photos is who they are in real life. And a good way to do that is to let your parents know who you're talking to with their permission. Do maybe a FaceTime call or a Skype call. There's House Party, an app that you can use to, video chat with others. And just be sure that you're not revealing too much personal information in a video call. Have them answer first. You have your phone facing the wall, your camera not showing you until they have shown themselves first, and then have a general conversation, just getting to know someone before you want to meet them in person. If you decide to meet them in person, if you're going to actually meet them, make sure that your parents are aware that that's what you're doing, and never go alone. Always bring a friend or 2 friends, and make sure that you are meeting in a public, well-lit location during the daytime. You should never be meeting anybody at night. You should never be going over to anyone's house or not telling your parents or not telling anyone where you're going. I would suggest a safety plan if you are planning to meet someone online, is to share your location with your parents, with trusted adults, with friends, Bring a couple of friends with you. Make sure you are going to a public location during the day and that you have a safety plan if things go wrong. Be able to call the police, let them know exactly where you are, what is going on, and make sure you are never alone. I think one of the best kind of tips I can give you when it comes to being online is if something feels sketchy to you, if something makes you feel uncomfortable, if something just doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. And being on the internet, it can be very easy to kind of get caught up in a moment, caught up in, people that might be cyberbullying or trying to get you to do things or say things, and you don't always have to answer to anybody. Anyone who might be pressuring you to send a photo, anybody who might be pressuring you to, do anything, you never have to respond. And if it doesn't feel right, and if it gives you kind of that gut feeling that this isn't right, don't. Trust your gut. Go with your gut. Don't do anything that you're not 100% comfortable with, and never share anything on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone else to see. That's all I've got for you guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that there's a couple tips that you heard, that you learned, and that you can kind of take with you as we continue to navigate this virtual world. We'll see you right back here for another video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!